Hello everyone, I welcome you all for the lecture series of digital signal processing. Today in this session, we are going to discuss some methods of inverse Z transform. So earlier we have covered the Z transform of standard sequences, its simple equations, then the properties of the Z transform, then we have solved so many examples on the definition of the Z transform, on the standard sequences and the properties of the Z transform. So if you remember, if you watch my earlier video, that was on the convolution of the two sequences. So this convolution is one of the most important property of this Z transform. So in that method, we are just multiplying the Z transform of two sequences. Okay. So please be prepared for this convolution of two sequences. There is always one question for the 7 to 8 marks in the examination on the convolution of two sequences. So along with that, there is one last point for this chapter, that is the inverse Z transform. So basically what we are doing, we are just converting our frequency domain signal into time domain signal. Okay, we are just converting frequency domain signal into time domain, and for the direct Z transform we were converting direct time domain signal into frequency domain. Okay, that means if you are find out just Z transform of any sequence, then just you are converting the time domain sequence which was the x of n into x of z. So x of z is frequency domain signal. So now this is a little bit inverse method of this Z transform. So as the definition indicates, the description is given that when the analysis is needed in the discrete format, okay, when the analysis is needed in the discrete format, discrete means digital, we convert the frequency domain signal back into discrete format through inverse Z transform. So just we are converting the frequency domain signal which is denoted by x of z, okay, back into discrete format or in the time domain which is nothing but the x of n. So this method is called as inverse Z transform. Okay, so please remember, just we are converting frequency domain into time domain in the case of inverse Z transform. So we follow the following four ways to determine the inverse Z transform. So basically three methods three methods are given, that is the long division method, then partial fraction expansion method, and the residue or contour integral method. So there are three methods which is there is also one method, that is a power division method, but it is not mentioned here. So you just prepared for mostly first two methods, that is long division method and partial fraction expansion method. So these two methods are very important according to examination point of view. As I have said earlier, there is a one question on the direct Z transform for 7 to 8 marks. Similarly, there is a compulsory 1 to 2 question on the inverse Z transform, which may be asked on the long division method or it can be on partial fraction expansion method. So basically we will discuss these two methods, that is first one is the long division method, we will discuss it today. We will solve one simple example and the remaining all examples are all are the same type which we solved today. So be prepared for at least 3 to 4 examples on the long division method. So let's start this long division method. Basically there is some theoretical part for this method. This method is nothing but to find out inverse Z transform. This is the first method. I think we will directly go for the problems. There is some theoretical part is given for this long division method also. So this is a long division method and its polynomial representation is given, that is nothing but x of z is equal to numerator divided by denominator in the Z transform. Okay, this is basically just representation of polynomials in the long division method. There is some theoretical part for the partial fraction expansion method. and the residue or contour integral method. So we will directly move for the basic example so that you will clear how this long division method can be solved, or we can say how the inverse Z transform can be find out using long division method. So there is one example is given, that is x of z is equal to z square upon 0.5 minus 1.5 z plus z square. Now we have to find out inverse Z transform. Okay, so this is basically in the frequency domain is given. This is frequency domain x of z. Okay, just we have to find out its inverse, that is x of n. Okay, so we want to find out x of n. So how these steps involved in the long division methods are given. So basically the theoretical part is given. Please observe on this theory, that is while carrying out the long division, always convert the given expression in the simplest form. That means as far as possible it should be in the form of 1 divided by some polynomial. Okay, so that means numerator should be 1. Okay, the meaning of this line is what? It should be in the form of 1 divided by polynomial. So there should be in the numerator is 1 and we are dividing some polynomials. Okay, so thus dividing numerator and denominator by z raised to square, we get, see what we are getting, divided by z square on numerator and denominator. So we are getting at the numerator 1, it should be z square, this should be z square. So after dividing z square to numerator and denominator, what we are getting? We are getting this equation, that is x of z is equal to 1 upon 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay, minus 1.5 z raised to minus 1, and this divided by z square is nothing but 1. So after dividing z square we are getting this equation. Okay, so now let's divide this numerator by denominator. So we have numerator is 1 and denominator is this polynomial. So as our sequence is non-causal, okay, our sequence is non-causal, so numerator polynomial should start from maximum negative value. Okay, numerator polynomial should starts from maximum negative value. So if you observe our equation, the maximum negative value of z is nothing but minus 2. Okay, maximum negative value of z is nothing but minus 2. And what our condition? If our sequence is non-causal, then our denominator polynomial should starts from minus maximum negative value of z. So the given polynomial is in the correct form, that is we are starting from maximum negative value of z, that is minus 2, then next minus 1, and last one is 1. So our denominator is in the correct form. Now just divide this 1 by this denominator. So what we are getting? So this is the arrangement. So let's find out this division. So just we are, this is the denominator, this is numerator, just divide this by this. Okay, so first divide this 1 by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay, divide this 1 by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. You have to only divide using this. Okay, using only first position polynomial you have to divide this one. So what we are getting? We are getting 2z square. Okay, just divide 1 by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay, so what we are getting? We are getting 2z square. Okay, and remaining here is 1. Now 2z square is again multiply with the minus 1.5 and 1. Okay, now 2z square gets multiplied with 1.5 and 1. So what we are getting? 1.5 into 2z square 3z, and 1 into 2z square 2z square. Okay, so right in this manner. So what we are getting now? Just change the signs. We are changing the sign. Here was the minus, we are getting plus, and it is the plus we are changing it to minus. Okay, so what we are getting, plus 3, okay, this plus 3 minus this minus 2z square. Okay, so after dividing this 1 by 0.5 z raised to minus 2, we are getting 2z square, and then multiply this 2z square with the 1.5 and 1. So we are getting this equation. Just change the sign. Here was the minus 3, we are putting as a plus, and it is the plus 2, we are put as a minus. So we are getting after this polynomial, that is plus 3z minus 2z square. Okay, so this was our first step for the division. Now again just divide this 3z divided by 0.5, this 3z, okay, divided by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay, we are dividing now this 3z divided by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. So what we are getting, we are getting z. So we are getting, 1 minute. So after dividing this 3z by 0.5 z raised to minus 2, we will get z into, sorry, 6 into z raised to cube. Okay, so what is remaining, remaining is 3z. Okay, then again multiply this 6z cube to 1.5 and 1. So what we are getting, we are getting 9z square and 6z raised to cube. Okay, again change the signs. Here was the minus, put it as a plus, and here is the plus, put as a minus. So after changing the sign, what we are getting, this plus 9 and minus 2 is 7z square, and this is minus z raised to cube. Okay, so again repeat the same step. Now what, you will divide this 7z raised square to again 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Again what we are getting, we will get 14 z raised to 4. Again this 14 z raised to 4 in multiply with 1.5 and 1. So what we are getting, 14 into 1.5, 21, and 14 into 1, 14 z raised to 4. Again change the sign. Here there is a minus 21, we are putting as a plus. Okay, it is plus 14, we are put as a minus. So what is the remaining, the remaining equation is what, 15 z raised to cube minus 14 z raised to 4. So again repeat this step. Okay, just there is you should write in the examination at least 5 to 6 division. Okay, 5 to 6 times we have to divide this polynomial. So now again we are dividing this 15 z raised to cube with the 0.5 z raised to square. We are getting this 30 z raised to 5. Again this 30 in multiply with 1.5 and then in multiply with 1. So what we are getting, this 15 get cancel. We are getting 45 z raised to 4 and 30 z raised to 5, and this is our last remaining polynomial. You can divide it this also. Okay, if you want to go for maximum iteration, you can divide this 31 z square again with the 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay, you can divide this for the next iteration, but I think this much is sufficient. Okay, that is 4 to 5 iterations is sufficient for to solve any type of long division method. So approximately what we are getting, we are getting x of z is nothing but our this equation. Okay, this is nothing but x of z. So this is nothing but 2z square plus this 2z square plus 6z raised to cube plus 14 z raised to 4 plus 30 z raised to 5 up to infinity. Okay, so this is for maximum iteration, we can up to infinity we can solve this equation. So just by observing this equation, by observing this simple equation, we can determine our series. Okay, so this is in the which form, frequency domain form. We want in the x of n. Okay, just we want to find out the x of n series. Just by simply watching this equation, you can easily determine the final series. Okay, so this is our basic equation for the z transform, that is x of z is equal to summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z raised to minus n. Okay. So simply put, by comparing this equation, what we are getting, just we are getting x of z, x of 0 is 0. Okay. Then x of minus 1 is 0, then x of minus 2 is 2. How this 2 come? The 2 came only for this. Here will be what? Z raised to square. So ultimately it becomes x of minus 2, here x of minus 3, x of minus 4, x of minus 5. Okay. So these are the values which we have written here. So basically there is no only z. Okay. So therefore there is z raised to 1. So x of minus 1 is 0. Okay. So in the equation we have z square. Okay. We have z square. So we have x of minus 2 will be 2. Then x of minus 3 is 6. X of minus 4 is 14. And x of minus 5 is 30. Okay. Just we have compared this equation. So ultimately by only observing this, we are getting the value x of minus 2 is 2, x of minus 3 is 6, x of minus 4 is 14, and x of minus 5 is 30. So just put in the x of n form. So this is our x of n form, or we can say this one. So what is x of n? In curly bracket, we always write the sequence in the curly bracket. So it starts from minus 5. Okay. Please remember the arrow is here. Okay. And the values towards the left side will be minus sequence. So x of minus 5, x of minus 4, x of minus 3, x of minus 2, and x of minus 1. So just we have compared this value with our equation. We are getting x of minus 5 is 30, x of minus 4 is 14, then x of minus 2 is 6, x of minus 1 is 0, and x of 0 is 0. Okay. So this is our last series, or which is our nothing but the final answer for the given polynomial. So in this way we are converting x of z into x of n. That means we are doing inverse z transform just by converting frequency domain into this time domain signal. Okay. In the next lecture we will solve one more example on the inverse z transform. Okay. This is very simple one, I think, and it is one of the simple method, that is long division method, to solve any inverse z transform. Okay. For you students, you have to solve 3 to 4 example on your own on this long division method, so that it will be very easier to you to score in the examination. Okay. Just by, instead of only reading this example, you should try to solve on your own. Okay. Then you will ultimately get clear this thing. So thank you for this lecture. And in the next lecture we will solve one more example, or we can directly start the next method of inverse z transform. So thank you very much.